Hello everyone. So tonight I'm going to be making some homemade slime for Halloween. So I've just emptied 2 bottles of Elmer's glue in here, and you need an equal amount of warm water. So to make sure I get all the glue out, I've just measured out the water, and I'm going to pour the water into each bottle. And I'm going to shake it up really good so I get all the glue. And that way you get all the glue and you get the right ratio. The recipe I was following just said to pour the glue out and then just fill it up with water, but it's really hard to get all the glue out and get an accurate amount of water. My first batch of slime turned out more like, I don't know if you guys remember at GAC, it was very thick and it did the whole burping thing really well, but it's kind of fun, kind of cool, but really wasn't what I was looking for. So hopefully this project turns out better. Yeah. You don't get quite as much water. So those 2 bottles are emptied out, and I'm going to pour the rest of the water in here. And then I am going to add a good squish of food coloring. My husband said my last batch wasn't dark enough. And then you need 3 to 4 tablespoons of glow-in-the-dark paint. There's 1. This bottle is almost out. That's 2. And I think that container is going to have to be considered empty, and thankfully I have a spare sitting here. I picked up another bottle of glow-in-the-dark paint at the store the other day, since my first experiment didn't turn out the way I wanted. And I've promised to do this with my nephews the next time I see them, so kind of need to make sure the recipe works before. Although I may just bring this to them after Halloween, and they'd probably be just fine with just that. Okay. Need 1 more. And we're just gonna scrape all that glow-in-the-dark paint out. Alright. We are going to stir this up. Trying not to make a mess. Okay, now in a separate container, make sure you guys can see this barely, we're going to take 1 teaspoon of borax, and we're going to put that in 1/2 cup of warm water. And this is what makes it thicken. So you just want to stir this up until the borax dissolves. I'm just going to kind of give both of them a bit of a stir. There's still a little bit down there at the bottom. Alright, I'm going to call that good. You add this into there. And it immediately starts to thicken. And you just stir it up. Alright, at this point I'm going to take my rings off and I'm just going to mix it by hand. It will start to come together. Right now it looks like a, well, looks pretty much like it's supposed to. It should come together so it's a little bit more solid, but you just need to keep mixing it. It doesn't take too long for it to kind of as you can see, this is definitely a craft little kids would like. Looks very gross and Halloween-y. And it is starting to solidify a bit, which is a little thick for the texture I was wanting. So that's the texture this recipe gets. It's closer than the last time. I don't know if, as you can see, it's a little bit more. My first batch was not. Here, I'll give you a comparison. This is my first batch. is very rubbery, and it just kind of doesn't really give much. This is much more the texture. It still tears, but it's going to. But I think as long as it has to be warmed up by your skin for it to do much. And since this is warm and this is ice cold, so maybe the first batch wasn't ruined. Maybe it was just too cold. I don't know. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into this jar, and then I'm going to put the lid on it, and I am going to print out a label. I have a label that I just need to print out, and I'm going to stick it on here, and then it will be part of my Halloween display. Let's see if we can show you how it glows. Kind of hard to get it. So, let's see. Yeah, you really can't see, but it does glow. It is glowing. And the more it sits in the light and charges, the better it will glow. So I hope you liked. And I'll put pictures of what the finished product looks like at the end. And thanks for watching.